What's up, everyone? This is Andre with Indie Arts Midwest, and today I will be talking about my experience playing Borderlands 2 VR. Now, as you can see, I'm kind of playing around with the settings because with my initial start, the game automatically gives you right-handed, righty use. So I was really excited that I could do a lefty flip, though moving around I immediately realized was very jarring to the experience. It's not necessarily something that I was expecting, um, and it definitely took some time. In fact, I don't recall getting very comfortable till maybe about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes in, 20, 30 minutes in. So that's my level of comfort increased in the next video. But what you're seeing now, oh, and I'm also there. Yep, the cliche look at my hands. Yep, everybody does it. Um, Also, I was not aware that you had to go into your settings to record any of this, which is a shame because I had a lot of good content in this video that was not captured. So, in hopes that it did actually transfer any of my audio over, I went into the settings and activated it, and so that I could, feature it in my video clips. But come to find out that there's not really anything that I could do. So it is what it is. Um, but I enjoy the game very much. Um, I kind of figured that it would be a much slower paced version of the original, and I was indeed right. My current issue early on and still to this moment is having trouble with the controls, like remembering which buttons there are and what they do. There are a few things that I would change, but I can understand why they have to be this way. Like, for example, to turn left or right, that would be my left hand, while moving around the world, or just moving forward, I should say, is the right hand. And it took later on for me to realize, oh, I could point my right hand, forward, back, left, or right in order to move, to strafe around. I actually found out the strafing part on accident, and so after I realized I could do that, it was kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna do this from now on. So basically, I have the teleport option. I only use it occasionally, like if I'm looking up at something I need to get up to, then I'll use it for that. I don't particularly plan on using the jump feature anytime soon, seeing as the game has plenty of locations where you have some pretty high drops to a lower level. And I didn't think that I was going to get used to it so quickly, and I still have some issues every now and then. VR sickness comes and goes, and it can vary in its degrees. So it's just something I'm going to have to deal with and get used to, which, for the most part, hasn't been too bad. In fact, I got used to moving around comfortably using the motion controls a lot faster than I expected to. Most of the time in games like this, I assume that it's going to make me sick rather quickly, which it has. There are plenty of games out there when VR first became available. Unfortunately, I don't have any names, but these kinds of games definitely made me sick quickly, and it was mainly because I'm not physically moving around. And my brother and I joke around about different ways in which we can achieve a feeling of not necessarily actually being there, but the movement is there. Because of course you can't be there. So one thing we joked around about was running in place. I mean, it might annoy your neighbors downstairs or, someone in another room, something like that, but it kind of helps. I don't do it, but I'm just, it would be funny if a lot more people did that. In my other VR videos, I may or may not have mentioned the strain that VR has on your feet, especially if it's a standing game. I'm not particularly fond of sitting games. If you can stand, you know, you're gonna have some strain on your feet. So honestly, it kind of makes me wonder, should there be a line of special shoes, extremely cushiony shoes for VR? Like Mega Dr. Scholl's, you know, or yeah, Dr. Scholl brand VR foot cushions. So just something to, you know, to keep in mind, that comfort is definitely an issue. I'm actually glad that they set up the movement system in this way. So yeah, there are definitely quite a few pros and cons. The aiming, of course, is an issue. I'm not entirely sure if it's because I need to upgrade my badass ranks and, you know, like utilize some recoil reduction or something like that. But what I do know, or maybe I need to turn my camera down, I'm not entirely sure. Like aim it downward a little bit, because early on in the game when I would aim at something, it seemed like it was alright, but boy, that bullet spread is horrible. And as you'll see in other clips, that I have a hard time hitting a target that's right in front of me, even though my crosshairs are directly aimed at the enemy, whomever it might be. In fact, because of this, if anything happens to get close to me, I'm so grateful that not only can I use melee with my left hand, but my right hand as well. That's a great feature that's missing in Arizona Sunshine. But that's for another video. So as I knew, the game did definitely progress much slower. There were less enemies in the beginning, and not only you know, the train wreckage area, but also in I think Liarsburg, I believe it's called. Half the time I don't even pay attention. I just jump into this game and start playing. But yeah, this feeling was different, you know, because I've restarted Borderlands 2 so many times. At one point I had a bunch of save issues, and you know, eventually my brother and I figured out what the issue was, so now we don't have to deal with that, and we've been trying to get through the game. I know it's been such a long time since that game came out, and it's, you know, only getting attention because it's in VR. I don't even know if anyone's still playing this game, you know, especially since it's on PS3, but also now on PS4. So hopefully people are getting back into playing Borderlands and getting more out of the game. Yeah, over time, you know, I think I'm going to get really good at this game. Another thing that I've noticed in terms of bullet spread is, boy, like automatic weapons are, at least the one that I'm using currently is just horrid. I'm hoping that there will be some more precise weapons that I pick up later on in the game. And honestly, the best weapon that I can utilize this early on is a shotgun. Handguns are my all-time favorite in this game, and I'm really hoping to get good and making use of them. But that's, you know, yeah, the aiming is definitely an issue. I mean, even if my arm is pointed out straight, right, like I'm actually aiming a gun, right, I could pull the trigger with my crosshair highlighted in red on an enemy and it will still miss. Now I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that I've been playing a lot of Gun Club VR, and my accuracy is pretty dang good. So like I said before, maybe it's camera positioning, you know, perhaps it's something else that I need to look into. Also, I really like this transition between the cutscene and the game. It's very smooth, and I was not expecting that. I thought it was going to be like, you know, kind of ease into the cutscene, but no, they're just like, boom, cutscene, boom, you're back in the game. What I'm noticing now that I didn't before is that as I'm watching this playback, the same circle that is in my visuals blurs up and then fades out of the blur. I didn't notice that I didn't think that was going to be a thing throughout the gameplay. And I mean, as I'm watching this, I'm really surprised to see that. I just assumed that, you know, what the viewer would get on the main screen would just be seeing me playing VR, and some of those visual features that I'm seeing within the headset would just be as is. So again, it's gonna take me some time to get used to the controls. I keep pressing the wrong buttons, you know, so you know, it's all comes down to muscle memory, and you know, you get into the game enough and you're like, oh yeah, I know this one, I know that, you know, that's all gonna take time. But overall, very pleased. um, this video that I'm putting together is going to be a series of clips, so I hope you're enjoying them. I just wanted to kind of highlight some of the more actiony parts of what I'm doing versus just moving around from place to place. And yeah, so feel free to keep watching my videos. I hope you like them. I will continue playing this game until I beat it. Not saying I'm going to beat it today, but just hopefully you like some of the commentary that I have now that I have a functioning microphone setup. Maybe you'll get to see and hear a little more of me verbalizing some of my experiences in the game and talking about, you know, many of the weapons and other awesome features that this game has to offer, like BAMF, which do I think that it's worth ruling out multiplayer for BAMF? Not particularly, but you know, I'm not the one who made the game, and maybe it's an option that they might feature later on. I've heard that it will be a possibility on Steam, but let's not leave that set in stone, and just see what happens. Hopefully PlayStation or you know, hopefully they'll change their mind, you know, and we'll because I would really enjoy playing a game that I've played multiplayer with my brother and Borderlands 1. You know, I really enjoy playing that, you know, cooperatively, because, you know, that makes this game more fun. Would that mean that they up a little bit on the damage because there's two people shooting instead of one? I'm actually okay with that. So, like I said before, I hope you're liking my video, and I will continue to post more. Just feel free to like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.